Ktor 3 is now available with new features and improved performance. This new version uses Kotlin 2.0 and switches to Kotlin X IO, making Ktor more up to date and better connected with other Kotlin tools. Ktor 3.0 works faster and gives you more option for building client server application. If you are new to Ktor or need a reminder about how it works, our recent blog post Ktor 101 efficient JVM HTTP toolkit explain its main feature. The following post will give you a solid overview of what's new and improved in Ktor 3.0. Migrating to Kotlin X IO. The biggest change in this version is the switch to the Kotlin X IO library, which is based on OKio. This change may affect you if you use the Ktor's low-level IO API. We made this change to standardize IO functionality across Kotlin libraries and improve performance as shown in our benchmarks. Breaking changes. These changes mainly affect low-level IO APIs, including classes like input-output, byte-read channel, byte-write channel. If you use these classes directly, you will see deprecation warning. You should update your code to use the alternatives provided by the Kotlin X IO library. Don't worry, we will keep supporting the old APIs until version 4.0, giving you ample time to migrate. The new Kotlin X IO library offers a multi-platform API that can handle various data sources and provides a range of capabilities, including working with file using compression and more. For more details, check out the Kotlin X IO API documentation. Performance improvement. By switching to Kotlin X IO, we have cut down the unnecessary copying of bytes between byte read channel and byte write channel and network interfaces. This allows for more efficient byte transformation and parsing, making room for future performance improvements. Our IO benchmark test based on real-world Ktor application shows impressive results. Some tests saw over 90% improvement, and we are working on even more enhancements. Support for servers and events. In Ktor 3.0, we added the initial support for servers and events, both for the server and the client. The servers and events is a technology that enables server to push events to client over an HTTP connection. SSE provides a one-way communication channel from server to the client. This approach is useful for scenarios where the server needs to send event-based updates without requiring the client to repeatedly poll for new information. To implement SSE support in your Ktor application, first add the SSE dependency to your project's build script. Next, install the SSE plugin in your Ktor application and create an endpoint using the SSE function. Within the SSE block, you have access to a server SSE session instance with the following capabilities: send, create and send a server send event to the client, access the associated application call that initiated the session, end the session and terminate the connection with the client. Please note that currently Ktor does not provide support for data compression of SSE responses. If you use the compression plugin, it will skip the compression for SSE responses by default. To consume the events using the Ktor client, in the simplest case, you only need to invoke the SSE function on the client instances as follows. In the example above, the client will consume the event as long as the server is sending the data. Serving static resources from zip archives. The new function static zip allows user to serve the contents of a zip archive as a static content. Here is a basic example of how to use it. Let's break down the example into key components. Remote path, the base URL path where the zip contents will be accessible. Base path, the base path within the zip file you wish to serve. In our example, we assume that the zip archive contains the base directory. All paths inside the specified base path will be accessible recursively at remote path part to resource. This means you can organize your zip file with subfolders and they will be reflected in the URL structure. Path files text files.zip, the path to the zip file you want to serve. The default function, this allows you to specify a default file to serve if no specific file is requested. The modify block, this enables you to customize the response. In this example, we are adding an e tag header based on the file name. See full example on the Ktor samples repository on GitHub. Support for CSRF. Support for CSRF cross-site request forgery protection was added with the new plugin. protection is enabled for state changing operation including post, put and delete. Generally it's applicable only for projects that use session cookies and forms, since enabling this can unnecessarily complicate your application. To enable CSRF support in Ktor application, first add the dependency to your project's build script. Next you can enable the CSRF protection for the selected routes in the application as follows. In the configuration block, the plugin provides a few methods for verifying the request. Allow origin specifies that only requests from the predefined origin are allowed. In our example, it is HTTP localhost colon 8080. Origin matches host, enforces the request origin must match the application's host. Check header enables arbitrary header validation. If you run the application with the code above and send a post request to the CSRF endpoint using the curl command, you will see the following. Adding the required headers will make it pass the checks. Ktor client for WASM. Ktor client now support WebAssembly as a build target. While Kotlin WASM is still in early stages, adding WASM support to the Ktor client is an important step in expanding the Kotlin multi-platform ecosystem. To showcase this new capability, we have created a sample Compose multi-platform project that uses Ktor client with WebAssembly WASM.js target. To use the Ktor client, you need to add the corresponding dependency to your project's build script. Migration guide. Ktor 3.0 brings some significant changes. We have prepared a migration guide for you to make the transition easier. Here we highlight the most notable changes. Whether you upgrade your existing projects to Ktor 3.0 or not, you can start building your new projects with Ktor 3.0 right away. Explicit loading of modules in test application. From now on, the test application class requires explicit loading of module. The following test will start an empty application and will not load any modules. Instead, you must explicitly load your modules within the text application function or load the configuration file manually. Plugin updates. The call logging plugin package has been renamed, fixing a typo. The location plugin has been replaced with the new resources plugin for type safe routing. These changes aim to improve Ktor's architecture, security and developer experience. Users upgrading from Ktor 2.x should refer to the detailed migration guide to ensure a smooth transition to the new version. What else to read and watch? The Ktor roadmap, plugin registry, Ktor 101, managing complexity with Ktor, extending Ktor. Yeah, that's it.